What up? It's on the sick one to sobriety. My name is Rob, and I'm an alcoholic and drug addict. Today, we're going to continue on from the story from yesterday, talking about homelessness. This time, 100%, I'm homeless. I have nowhere to go, no one to turn to. I have ampollas on the bottom of my feet. My feet stink. I haven't changed my socks or my boxers in about a week. So, that's just the type of vibe I was holding with me. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know how many times I showered when I was in TJ. You know what was a trip though? There was no hot water in the house. So we had to buy this metal bar that's wrapped around in a coil, and then you plug it into the outlet, and that metal bar, you just fucking throw it into a bucket of water y lo calienta. That's just the life we was living out there. That's just the struggles. But honestly, I think I might have taken a bath or a shower one time when I was out there in the 2 or 3 months I was there. Oh, scandalous. Imagine morbidly obese, tweaking, sweating, taking the dump, no baby wipes, and no shower. Ugh. I must have been one stinky taff motherfucker. God damn. I feel bad for whoever had to be around me. For real, for real. That's fucked up. That's fucked up shit. But anyways, so I left the pad in TJ. I was like, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna do? I was like, I need a beer. I don't have no money. First thing I did, cross the border back into the U.S. I was like, well, fuck it. If I'm gonna be a bum, I'm gonna be a bum in the United States. At least right here, we get the help that we need. Like it is what it is. I got on the trolley, went to Palomar Street trolley station, hit up the grocery store, and came out with a 40 ounce of Mickey's. Used to love drinking Mickey's back when I was younger. I was like, maybe this will make me chill, kick back. I get back on the trolley, and I run into another homie that's in there from my apartments, and he's bumming it. And he's like, what's up, Ron? Where you about to go? Whatever. And it was like 11 in the morning. He was like, what's up? I was like, I'm going to go to the Iris Park. I'm just going to post up. I'm sip on this 40. He's like, he opens his jacket up. He's like, I got one too, fool. Let's post up. I was like, all right, cool. Let's post. Two grown men, 11 in the morning, going to the park to drink beer under the tree. Life couldn't get better than that. We roll up to Iris Park. We're just posted up. And he's like, hey, let's go to the apartments, fool. And I was like, hey, dog. I was like, it's not even noon yet, dog. I was like, what are we gonna do in the apartments? Just walk around at noon? Like, nah. Even I had some type of decency. Like, can't be doing that, dog. Like, it's a burn, fool. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, it is. I was like, yeah, fool. So we kicked it at the park. And then some other homie rolled up that's been homeless for a long ass time. He's like, hey, what's up? What you guys doing? It was turned into a fucking party right there. Homeless party. We were just right there sipping beer, chilling. And then hours passed by quick. And I'm coming now. Now I have this beer in my system, but I'm coming down off of the shit. And my mind starts to clear up in between quotations. Starts to clear up. And I start texting my brother. And I remember bullshitting him, telling him like, hey fool, what's up? Like, like let me stay at your pad, fool. Like because I had a job at that time. Like I just never called in for hours. I never got fired or anything. I just stopped calling in for hours. I was like, look, I still have a job. I promise you I'm going to be off the shit. I promise you I'm going to go back to work. And just let me stay in your living room for a couple months. Let me get some money. You know, the same old story every drug addict or alcoholic tells to people to feel sorry for him, you know? And I don't remember exactly what he answered because my memory of this timeline, of this time frame is shot out. It was fucked up. So I'm just gonna tell the story how I remember it happening and the time frames that I remember happening, but it could be all over the place. So I remember my brother texting me back and telling me no. I was like, fuck. I was like, come on, dog, like look out for me. He's like, no, ask your other brother. And I was like, I really didn't want to ask him because he's doing his thing. He's like, and I'm just like, nah. And I remember going back to the apartments. It's already like 4 in the afternoon. The fucking afternoon passed by quick. And I just remember being out there and I ran into one of the homies. So one of the homies that I ran into, I don't know what happened to him. I'm just going to call him Renee. I don't know what happened to this fool, but one time I did him the bottle of where he didn't have nowhere to go for that night. Like the first night I introduced him, they told me like, oh, this fool didn't have nowhere to go, but he got some shit. And I was like, oh, but you can stay with me, dog. I might let him jump in through the window of my room, and we hung out right there all night. And then now I run into this fool, and he has a car, and I don't have nowhere to go. So I post up with this fool, and we kick it all night. We smoke out, and the next morning he's like, "Hey, what's up? Where you want me to drop you off at? Because I gotta go to work." And I was like, "All of a sudden, I gotta go to work. Out of here with that bullshit." I was just dropping me off at the trolley station, dog. Fuck it. I don't know where I was going. My plan was just to ride the trolley, pretend that I'm going to work, enjoy the AC that's inside of the trolley. I don't know. I was just gonna go on the trolley, and I kept on trying to text my brother to help me, and he's like, "Look, Robert, I'm not gonna help you. You're not gonna stay at my house. Fool. No, there's no way. But I'm gonna help you some other way, and you're not gonna like it." I was like, what is it? You're gonna go to Salvation Army Rehab. I was like, no. I was like, nah, don't send me there, please. Don't send me there, because once he said that, it started hitting me that I'm exactly the criteria that fits to go to Salvation Army. I'm a drug addict and I'm a homeless motherfucker. And that's exactly the two things, the two requirements that I always had it in my head. That's what the criteria you need to meet to be inside of Salvation Army. And that was the only rehab that I ever known, like, growing up, because it's popular. Everybody from the apartment complex goes there. And now I'm just like, nah, I don't want to go there. Just let me work, dog. And he's like, nah. He's like, either you want to go there or nothing. I was like, nah, I don't. I was like, I don't know. He's like, you know what? He's like, I already talked to our other brother. Go to his house and just meet, because we got to do some shit. We're gonna go out, but you're just go get some rest. Go to your other brother's house. So my other brother is number one. My other brother is number two. I'm just gonna call him like that. He's like, go to number one's house. Meet us there. I was at the Iris trolley station, at the Iris Park again. So I walked, and he lived down in San Isidro. So it was a nice little fucking mission. Walking, mind you, I have ampollas. I don't know how to say it in English. I have ampollas, blisters. I have blisters on the bottom of my feet, cuts. Haven't changed my socks. I did come up on some boxers from one of the stores. I remember, because I had to take a dump in the morning. So I just came up on boxers, went to go take a dump, put them on, bounce. At least that, right? I got to my brother's house, number one, and they're in the middle. They're going to bounce already. I don't know what weather we're going. But my brother was kind enough to be like, look, go into the room. Do not, he's like, do not sit on the bed because with your stanky ass. He's like, but you can lay on the floor, put the AC on, watch TV, do whatever you got to do. I was all right. I laid down on the floor. I was like, it's over. Like, my homelessness is over. It took me 1.5 days of being homeless to realize that that was not the life for me, that I needed to change, because I do not want to be out on the street. I do not know how to survive being homeless. Fuck that. So they were going to help me. I stayed at my brother number one's house. Stayed on the floor. I remember my niece even gave me her poop emoji pillow to sleep on. And kicked it right there. And they're like, all right, what's the plan? You know? And my brother tripped out on me because I never took my shoes off. He was like, hey, fool, like, why are you sleeping with your shoes on? I'm like, what's kind of weird, no? I was like, it's just what I do, dog. And then, but I was so embarrassed that my feet stunk really bad. I was embarrassed to take my socks off. And he's like, you got to do it. He's like, go take a bath, you know what I mean? Wipe your shit off, dry yourself off good. Like, fuck it. It just is what it is, you know? And all right, so I had to do that. So the next day, after I get some rest, from what I remember, my family had an intervention on me. Even my sister showed up, and my sister was mad at me at this time. She wanted nothing to do with me, because, to be honest, she had kicked me out of her house because I left some paraphernalia behind, and it could have been dangerous for many people. And I left some stuff behind, and she kicked me out. I wasn't welcome at her pad no more. But she cared enough, obviously, to go to that intervention. And they were all talking to me like, Robert, you need help, you need to change. I was like, yeah, whatever. And they're like, we're taking you to Salvation Army. And then, but I didn't give a fuck about none of that bullshit, right? Because I didn't want to go. But what caught my attention is what my sister-in-law told me. She's like, look, you go to Salvation Army, you graduate the program, and then you come live with us. Doing that program is gonna prove to us that you're willing to change. And I was like, oh, the gears started spinning in my mind. I was like, no, pues aquí la voy a jugar de aquellas. I could just bullshit my way through these 6 months at rehab, come out, live with them, and I'm good. Everything's fucking done, complete, forgiven. Nobody remembers of all the lies and me stealing from them, and I brand new, wipe the slate clean. I was like, cool, I could do that. But the Salvation Army doesn't accept you doing a dirty P test, and I was still dirty, so I had to come down for a week. And the most crazy part is that my family took turns babysitting me. Shit was so embarrassing. It was so fucking frustrating because all I wanted to do was come down, and my family didn't let me because they wanted to be out doing stuff. Obviously, they want to be out doing stuff because they're not high, they're not coming down. They got lives to live, but they just had to take care of me, and I was a financial burden on them as well because they were buying me stuff. I remember my brother, number two, buying me shoes. We went out to eat, like, and it was fucked up for them. Me, I didn't give a fuck what was going on. I just knew that I was going to play the system for 6 months. But they had to man, it's crazy because they had to rearrange their whole life to accommodate me, the fucking piece of shit drug addict that doesn't know how to survive on his own. Like that shit still pisses me off. But they did it because obviously they love me. And that's fucking awesome. That's why I love them too, because they got my back. I realized that I realized that the only people who really have your back when you're down, rock bottom, is your family. It took me to that point in life to realize that. So they babysat me. They would take turns. I would be at my older brother's house. Then we'd go out and do stuff. I remember my oldest brother one time. We went to the Spring Valley swap meet, and I was coming down like a motherfucker. I didn't care about going to the swap meet. All I wanted to do was sleep and eat and shit. That's all I wanted to do. And we went to the Spring Valley swap meet from San Ysidro to that swap meet. It's a good, nice little drive, 25, 30 minutes probably. And I was passed out. I remember my oldest brother being pissed at me because all I wanted to do was sleep. He said, wait, mama's, all you do is fucking sleep. I was like, well, duh, I'm coming down, sir. Like, don't you know about this? And I was like, dude, just let me sleep. Like, what the fuck? And we walked around and we did our thing. And I just hated it because I didn't have no money to buy anything. I was just there, like, muy a huevo. And then the worst part was that now my parents had to step in to babysit me because everybody has their own lives to live. You know, my brother and his wife have to go to work. My oldest brother has to go to work. Everybody has to do stuff. Everybody has things to do except me. And my parents were like they were able to help me, you know, and they had to babysit me as well too. And at this time, I felt like I was enemies with my parents. They didn't want to have nothing to do with me. And we went, and my brothers, what I remember, my two brothers had to like beg my parents pretty much like, we're gonna do this with Robert. Let him stay here. Just deal with it. And my parents, okay, they told me just go to the room. We don't want to see your face. I said, okay. And I just go to the room, the middle room that we had there, lay on the floor, just do my thing. And then the dreadful day came where they're like, all right, Rob, it's time to go to rehab. Man, my whole world came down on me that day, dog. My heart sank down to my stomach. I have a pretty big stomach to sink into. My heart sank into my stomach, and I was just like, damn, I was hating life. I was like, are you guys sure I have to go to rehab? Because I'm feeling good now. It's already been a week since I came down, and like, honestly, like, I just got to go back to work, and, you know, everything will be good. And they're like, nah, you need to go to rehab, dog. They're like, but we're going to look after you. Don't even trip. So they took me for my last meal. I'll never forget this shit. So at this time, the Salvation Army, the ARC, doing the most good was in City College, right like a block away from the City College trolley station. So my two brothers took me. We went to Burger King, that's right there on City College. They gave me my last good breakfast, and they're like, let's go. And we went. I think the guy was like the guy that worked at Salvation Army, the one that does the intake. I think his name was like Norman or something. Like some older white boy. And he's like, yeah, whatever. My brother had already set everything up. And he's like, you ready to join the program? And I was like, yeah. And when my two brothers said, okay, Rob, you're on your own. I fucking broke down bawling like a motherfucker, just tears, tears. And it was fucked up because it reminded me of when my brother left me by myself in kindergarten. Like I was on my own. Like, like it's gonna make me cry right now. Like I was on my own in kindergarten, left me by myself, and I had to defend myself, and I didn't know how. And it's the same thing that I felt when they left me alone at rehab. Like, there you go, like figure it out, defend yourself. Like I didn't understand at that point in time. I didn't understand that I had to do it for me. I didn't want to get clean for me. I didn't want to get sober for me. No way, no how. I did not care about stopping using drugs. All I wanted to do was stop being homeless. There's a difference. So they left me there. I did the intake. I felt ashamed. I felt like a loser, like a failure. I felt as a son. I felt as a brother. I'm a grown ass man that doesn't know how to live life. I prefer drugs over every single thing, and look where it has led me. It has led me to a fucking rehab. And in this rehab, it's all male rehab. There's all kinds of motherfuckers walking around from different ethnicities, different types, looks, shapes, and sizes. I'm just like, fuck, it was so overwhelming because this place is huge. And I remember just signing my life away. You gotta sign some legal paperwork or some bullshit, and then you gotta sign your food stamps over to them too. And I remember signing my food stamps over right there. I was just like, fuck. The only thing I had to look forward to was the next 6 months I was gonna be in here, and when I'm done and I graduate this program, at least I could go live with my brother and my sister-in-law. And I'm gonna get into all my rehab days coming up this week.